Brah! What's up my people, my name is Spicy and today I have 3 stories coming out of the subreddit IDontWorkHereLady. I am giving away 4 Amazon gift cards at 2,500 subscribers, which is pretty soon, so go ahead and participate. Like this video if you're having fun with me and drop a fire emoji in the comments if you think the video is fire. Congratulations Lily Uji production for the comment of the day. Shopper wants to attack me. A while back, I was on my way to go on a date in LA with a girl that I considered a bit out of my league. While driving there, I was drinking a red Gatorade that dribbled down my chin and landed on the top of my white undershirt. I was already in another city and would not have enough time to drive back to my place and change, so I frantically searched my phone for a clothing place nearby, and the closest thing that came up was a Ross. I pulled into the parking lot and hurried inside. When I got into the store, which had multiple aisles of clothes that were short enough that everyone could see over them, I went straight for the men's section to find a solid white shirt. Frantically looking through the first aisle, I could not find what I was looking for because of the poor organization of sizes and styles. While looking through the second, I walked by a middle-aged white guy that was giving me the evil eye and he said, "Really?" and walked away. Not knowing what was wrong with this guy, I ignored him and continued on my search. After about 3 unsuccessful minutes, I decided to go ask someone who worked there if they could help. On my way to do this, I passed by this guy again and he screamed at the top of his lungs for everyone in the store to hear. "Are you going to follow me around everywhere? This store security is a joke." Now, I am the type of person that really doesn't like a lot of attention because of social anxiety, and now the entire store's occupants, maybe 30 people, had stopped what they were doing and were staring at me from over the aisles like I was the devil. I quietly said, "I don't work here." And then he replied with an even louder tone, for which I can only assume was an effort to embarrass me further. "You don't work here? You're trying to tell me that you're not loss prevention? You scumbag?" Then he took a step forward, now only a few inches from my face, breathed a nasty trench of liquor into my nostrils, and said, "I shall kick your butt," while staring into my eyes. I am not huge by any means, but I am of adequate size. I knew I could take this guy if I needed to, and at this point, I could feel the anger boiling from deep down within and even began to slightly tremble with adrenaline. "I don't work here and you're beginning to piss me off," I said with clenched jaws in a calm yet menacing tone, while giving him a look that let him know that A, I truly did not work there, and B, he had just messed up. This time, he looked at me with a bit of fear and slight disbelief in his eyes, but made the poor decision to continue along with his tirade. He had already gone this far, why not? But making the significantly wiser decision to turn around and walk away while he did it, trailing off into a whisper as he went to meet who I assume is his wife that was now nearby. There I stood in complete disbelief at what had just transpired with multiple strangers still staring at me. I decided that this was a bit too surreal and that I should probably leave before things escalated any further and something bad happened. With my stained white undershirt, I walked out to my Jeep and still had an Illinois license plate on it that I had not gotten around to changing since my recent move, and sat there for a few minutes calming myself down from something that nearly went very poorly. I pulled out, and as I drove by the front of the store, guess who came strolling out with his wife? I rolled down my window, threw up my middle finger and yelled, "Look at my plates, you moron! I don't work here." For anyone that may be curious, my date graciously forgave my sloven looks and we are still together today. Man, I love happy endings. That was supposed to go very bad and yet, now he's in a relationship. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing now that I think about it. But was that guy shoplifting? Like, I mean, why was he so paranoid about this person following him? I just hope that this person gets stuck in traffic. I never did work in showbiz. My mother took me to Disney World for my birthday when I turned 10. I put on my best pretty pink party dress, bright lime green tights, and shiny Mary Janes I never should have worn for walking in a theme park all day. I braided my hair in a really fancy, to a 10-year-old, French braid crown type thing. I even got to put on some makeup. I felt gorgeous. We went to this restaurant in Tomorrowland that I don't remember the name of, that had a stage that raised up from the floor with performers on it and then sunk back into the floor when they were done. It was pretty cool. And the performers were the kids of the kingdom or some such group in the vicinity of my age who sang cheesy pop songs. A show was starting when we got there, and my mother told me to grab a table while she went to the counter to buy our lunch. A huge treat for me because we never ate out. But it was my birthday. I was having chicken fingers and french fries in a restaurant where a show was happening. We did not have much back then, so this whole day was a huge treat. As it was lunch at a busy time of year and the place was a mob scene, I did not think much of it that my mother was in line for the whole length of the set. When it finished, I decided to go see what's up because I never gotten a table anyway. As I headed over, this woman grabbed my arm and physically dragged me over to her table. She started blathering about how her kid loved the performance, how great I was, and how they want my autograph. She shoved a book and pen at me. I tried to explain I was not one of the performers and squirm away, but she had a very firm grip on my arm. As she realized I was not singing, she started screaming at me and berating me for not treating my fans well and screeching at some poor actual employee with a broom or dustpan that she wanted a manager immediately. Now, the kids in the show took the elevator stage thing to the basement. They did not even exit into the crowd, but I guess I was dressed a lot like they were. Still, there's no excuse for any of this, and I'd become very scared. So I screamed, "This is not my mommy!" As I was taught. She yelled at the worker I was just being a spoiled brat and screamed at me something about how I'd never work in showbiz with my attitude. That part might have been later. It's all a scary blur. Entitled mommy yelled at her own kid to get up and started dragging me up to the counter window, which I allowed to happen fairly meekly, thinking my mother was there. She was not. She was gone to a different place that was not out of my precious chicken fingers. This is where there were continued scream demands for a manager because the entertainment was being unprofessional and her daughter wanted an autograph. My arm felt like a bruise was developing. It did, and it was ugly, and her kid looked mortified. Unable to spot my mother, I pretended to faint by closing my eyes and going totally limp. She was gripping me so hard, I did not even fall. Then she started trying to pull totally limp me up to standing. That hurt. Another customer jumped in, who was an EMT/nurse or sane human, and took over loudly and authoritatively, declaring I needed medical attention. A bunch of staff came running out and pried me away from Kung Fu grip woman. I had a miraculous recovery once freed, and again explained that she was not my mother. I was not one of the performers, and I wanted my real mommy. From there, I told my tale several times and got fed cookies at guest services while waiting for my mother to show up. They gave us a voucher and a reservation for lunch at a fancy buffet place since my chicken fingers and fries were long lost to the chaos. Over the years, my mother variously claimed that they did and did not kick Mrs. Yelling Place out of the park. Shrug. I was not there for those conversations, and the whole thing was a very scary blur. Lesson learned. If somebody asks you for an autograph, just cross something illegible, say thanks, and keep walking. They will never have known I can't hold a tune in a bucket. I am not the receptionist. At my current job, I work in a big multi-story building that a lot of businesses share. For 2 days of the week, I cover the reception desk for my company. It is on the ground floor in a really stupid place in front of one of the main doors. So a lot of people think I am the main receptionist for the building, despite there being a big neon sign with my company on it. It is a fair enough mistake to make, I guess, and I just point them in the correct direction and they go to the actual concierge desk. There have been a few people who don't listen to me at all and still demand I help them. Two stick out. The first was in person and the second was on the phone. The in-person one came up to my desk and asked me to give them an access pass to level 15. I'm sorry, I am not the main receptionist. I am only reception for my company, and if you head to the lifts over there and go down one floor, you will find the main concierge and they will be able to help you. But I need to get there as soon as possible. I don't have time to wait in another line. Can't you just give me a pass? You can't even see their desk from here. How do you know there's a line? There usually is not, but I'm sorry, but I can't give you a pass. Why not? Because I only work for my company, as you can see by the giant sign on my desk. I only have access to the levels my company is on. Can't you go get a pass for me from that concierge? No. Why not? Because I cannot leave leave my desk. Not to mention me going down the lift, asking for a pass, obtaining it, bringing it back to you, only for you to go back to that floor to use the lifts there, as the ones on this level don't go up to 15. Is going to take twice as long as you going there yourself. Besides, they won't give me a pass as I have no reason to go up there. The pass is for you, not me. I can't get it on your behalf. Why not? I just stare at him. I'm sorry, I literally cannot help you. Go to the concierge desk. Then I ignored him until he grumbled and stomped away, in the opposite direction to which I pointed him. Idiot. As I said, I work in a big multi-story building that a lot of businesses share. The business that has the most floors and has their name on the building is a private health insurer. I hate them on principle, so I am going to call them Jerk Factory. The reception phone very rarely rings. We actually have a switchboard on another level. Reception is mostly to give up access passes to those actually visiting us. So when the phone rings, I get a bit anxious because our reception number is not even on our website. It is supposed to be for internal staff. So the phone rings. Hello, this is my company. You're speaking with OP. Oh, is this my company? I was trying to get to Jerk Factory. Yes, sorry, my company is in the same building, but we're not in any way affiliated with Jerk Factory. Well, can you put me through then? Excuse me? Can you put me through to Jerk Factory? No, sorry, I don't know if our phones can do external transfers. I'm sure they can, but I don't know how. As I said, the phone is hardly used, and even if they can do external calls, I'm not sure what their number is. But you're in the same building, it's not external. Again, yes, I am in the same building, but they are a completely separate company and phone line. And again, I don't know their number. Can't you look it up? Can't you? This is terrible customer service. Lady, you're not my customer. Now please stop wasting my time. My auto line is ringing. My auto line was not ringing, but my globe was she annoying. That reception desk is super annoying. But the plus side is that it is actually so quiet that I spend most of my days on Reddit. Remember that I am hosting a giveaway very shortly. Once we reach 2,500 subscribers, I will be giving away 4 Amazon gift cards, and I hope you will be able to participate and have fun with these cards, so make sure you subscribe and not miss out. I wish you all a beautiful day. I hope you are doing your best to reach your dreams, live your fulfilled life, have fun, and love the people around you.